judgment tonight. The thoughts are passing by like rapid, blurry flashes of lightning, but you are safely looking at them from afar. Do not try to forcefully blank your mind. Do not panic because the mental wheel is still turning so incredibly fast. Your nervous system is merely releasing the heavy, residual momentum of today's constant, rushing digital noise. The desperate, long-term habit of over-analyzing every single detail is just a tired armor we are going to drop. Let the warm, comforting waves of this continuous background texture cushion your racing thoughts right now. You are no longer required to find immediate solutions, to plan the next step, or to answer anyone's questions. The busy, demanding reality outside your room is rapidly losing its sharp edges, fading into a completely empty space. We are intentionally closing the heavy, unseen doors to your social life, creating a sacred, dark cocoon of relief. You do not owe the waking world another fraction of your precious energy. Your active shift is officially over. Listen closely to how the beautiful, repetitive patterns of the cold rain begin to claim the nighttime air. The steady drops are falling outside the glass to wash away the invisible, toxic mental debris from your shoulders. The sharp necessity to understand why your brain refuses to slow down its pace is gradually melting into the dark. Your active intellect is gently realizing that it has no real work to perform in this deep, non-judgmental quiet. You are safely anchored here in the shadows, floating on the soft surface of an absolute, incredibly gentle reality. The physical space between your individual thoughts is beginning to slowly expand into a beautiful emptiness. The frantic internal dialogue is no longer an urgent emergency that requires your active, exhausting intervention. It is just a temporary, dissolving echo that we are going to patiently dismantle sentence by sentence together. With every passing minute, the external world is moving further away, shrinking into a tiny, meaningless point of light. Your entire awareness is gracefully withdrawing from the surface of life, settling deep within your own physical body. Feel the gentle, supportive weight of your tired limbs as they completely surrender to the layout of the bed. The muscles around your forehead and jaw are starting to realize that the long, draining day is officially done with. The tight, restricted space behind your eyes is opening up just a fraction, allowing a softer stream of air to pass. You are becoming intensely aware of the quiet, continuous pulse of existence beating beneath the heavy layers of noise. The protective, thick walls of the immediate night are firmly locking into place, sealing you away from all earthly chaos. I am right here with you in this profound stillness, holding a safe space where your mind is allowed to rest. You can drop the exhausting mask of being permanently ready. You can stop pretending that your spirit is not tired. The rich, healing soundscape your focus shift entirely away from the distant past and the unpredictable, illusory nature of tomorrow. There is only the raw, hypnotic texture of my soft whisper and the continuous, comforting downpour against the glass. The heavy, analytical ego is gradually loosening its desperate iron grip on your physical nervous system right now. The roaring echo chamber inside your head is prepared to soften, waiting for the coming transformation in the next phase. We are leaving the frantic velocity completely behind, moving steadily into the deep, quiet waters of total inner relief. You do not need to aggressively fight the remaining thoughts or force them to vanish from your head. Instead, let us gently begin to separate this dense, blinding mental fog into tiny, individual threads of light. We are going to patiently observe how each frantic idea slowly loses its artificial speed and its false urgency. Imagine your chaotic thoughts turning into harmless, weightless dust particles floating lazily in a quiet room. They are drifting completely out of your focus, slowly settling down onto the dark, cold floor of your consciousness. Feel how the incredibly soft, rhythmic cadence of my velvet voice begins to untangle the silent chaos inside. With every natural, unforced exhalation of your chest, the rapid spinning of the inner wheel noticeably drops its pace. The loud, overlapping voices of today's unfinished tasks are losing their sharp ability to capture your attention. You are successfully stepping backward into a deep, protected space of pure, non-reactive observation tonight. The heavy mental static that felt so overwhelming just a short moment ago is becoming remarkably thin and transparent. There is an immense, beautiful relief in realizing that you do not have to process anything right now. The rigid necessity to plan for tomorrow or fix the mistakes of the past is quietly dissolving in this darkness. Your brain is allowed to be completely unproductive, completely empty, and wonderfully disconnected from the world. Every cold drop of rain hitting the window pane is a gentle command for your nervous system to fully let go. The frantic momentum of the daylight is sliding off your skin, leaving your mind beautifully spacious and quiet. Listen to the soft, velvet texture of the ambient background as it creates deep gaps between your thoughts. is turning into a smooth, liquid sensation of absolute mental surrender. The analytical mind is growing remarkably weary, completely mesmerized by the steady rhythm of the falling rain. It no longer has to monitor your internal state or search for a logical way to calm your frantic nervous system. The deep healing is already taking place by itself in the background, far beneath your active waking awareness. The dense, suffocating cloud of daily worries is quietly breaking apart into thousands of tiny, meaningless fragments. They are drifting away through your slow exhales, leaving the inner chambers of your head entirely clean and still. Look how beautifully your consciousness can rest when there are absolutely no expectations pressing down on it. The mental cage that felt so restricting and loud just a short moment ago is now nothing more than a blurry shadow. You can feel a deep, comforting coolness spreading from the crown of your head down into your relaxed shoulders. The heavy, draining memories of today's social interactions are rapidly losing their power to disrupt your peace. Every heavy layer of mental control you maintained during the day is sliding away, leaving you light and free. I can feel the exact moment when your tired brain decides to fully yield its desperate grip to the night. The spaces between your random thoughts are growing wider, creating a magnificent sanctuary of open, silent space. The quiet air you inhale is no longer filled with the static noise of panic. It is a pure, refreshing stream of rest. You are perfectly hidden away in this velvet darkness, beautifully insulated from the loud, crushing rush of life. The residual tension in your mind is turning into a soft wave of relaxation that coaxes your spirit to trust. The rigid fortress of your daily stress has successfully crumbled into a peaceful, quiet valley of stillness. Your inner focus is settling into a slow, majestic cadence that perfectly matches the deep music of this room. The psychological resistance has been completely replaced by a profound, unshakable sense of total safety. Your awareness is drifting far away from the mechanics of thinking, moving deeper into a state of pure perception. The chaos is untangled, the mind is open, and your quiet soul is ready to enter the sacred gates of the sanctuary. Now that the frantic mental chaos has been completely untangled, we can build your inner sanctuary. With every slow, unforced movement of your awareness, feel a solid foundation of pure stillness endless digital notifications, the toxic urgency of deadlines, and the heavy expectations of others cannot enter. They are completely deflected by the dense, warm aura of total emotional safety that is filling this room tonight. You are retroactively locking the heavy iron gates to your private world, ensuring your energy is perfectly safe. This clean perimeter belongs exclusively to your soul, a sovereign empire of peace where you rule over the silence. Feel the immense, comforting stability of this architecture as it settles permanently into the deep floor. The vast ceiling above your bed is woven from the dark, cooling fibers of the midnight sky to absorb your stress. There are no ticking clocks here, no obligations to fulfill, and absolutely no pressure to pretend you are strong. You can finally discard the suffocating, tight identity you are forced to maintain during the busy daylight hours. Inside this magnificent fortress, you are completely anonymous, beautifully hidden away, and entirely safe from judgment. I know how deeply your mind has craved this absolute, unbothered isolation after a long day of carrying burdens. I know the exact exhaustion of processing endless streams of data when the chaotic world refuses to slow down its pace. That is why this beautiful haven is built with such precise care, a custom-made sanctuary for your crowded mind. Every dark corner of this room is currently filled with a thick, soothing energy that gently repels old anxieties. The walls are expanding outward, giving your resting intellect the vast, open clearance it has been denied all day. Listen to how the steady, continuous rain outside serves as an additional sonic shield for your private kingdom. It creates a beautiful, whispering perimeter of absolute protection, sealing your body inside a warm, dark cocoon. The stressful reality outside these walls is becoming a distant, forgotten dream, a completely meaningless echo. You do not owe a single soul an explanation, an immediate reply, or a fraction of your attention until tomorrow. Right now, your only spiritual duty is to exist peacefully within the secure, open boundaries of this structure. The rich, healing ambient pads are vibrating softly against the stone-cold certainty of your new fortress. They are infusing the quiet air with a profound sense of unshakable security that coaxes your thoughts to loosen further. Your physical body is sinking deeper into the soft mattress, completely trusting the safety of these heavy walls. The frantic, desperate urgency that dictated your movements for the last 12 hours is dissolving into nothingness. You are fully wrapped in an invisible cloak of absolute protection, a shield that no daily crisis can ever pierce. Look how distant and harmless the pressure in your head feels now that you look at it from behind these walls. The old anxiety is nothing more than a faint, blurry shadow precious spirit. Your calm, rhythmic breathing has synchronized perfectly with the slow, majestic pace of this secure, quiet space. The cool air you inhale is pure, clean, and entirely free from the toxic debris of doubt and hypervigilance. You are no longer vulnerable. You are no longer exposed to the harsh, calculating gazes of the crowd. The protective night has claimed your mind as its own, pulling you deep into the safest chambers of this palace. Your inner awareness is drifting away from the structure itself, moving steadily toward the core of your being. The walls will stand firm and watch over you, holding the chaos at bay while you enjoy the spacious silence. We are moving deeper into the center of the fortress, where the ultimate protection shield is waiting to activate. The physical walls of our sanctuary are holding firm, and now it is time to activate the final shield. Slowly witness a translucent, warm dome of pure energy expanding from the deepest center of your quiet mind. It gently rises and curves over your entire bed, creating a flawless, airtight capsule of absolute night protection. As this energetic shield locks into place, my soft voice will begin to recede into the warm background of the room. You are safe to let go of your remaining hypervigilance, because this shield will filter the cold night for you. I know exactly how every inch of this dark capsule feels, because I activate it for myself every single night. I know the precise texture of the suffocating pressure that wraps around your thoughts when the daylight refuses to leave. I lie awake in this exact same heavy silence, watching the dark rain and testing the boundaries of this protective field. It is an incredible comfort to know that we are both completely There is no longer a need to maintain your name, your social status, or your complicated human history tonight. You are slipping away from the waking world, turning into a beautifully anonymous observer of the silence. The shield filters out the global anxiety, the collective panic, and the endless friction of human existence. It leaves your mind with nothing but the raw, comforting rhythm of your own slow, steady, and peaceful breathing. Every deeply rooted tension in your head is being pulled out by the heavy magnetic gravity of this dark bed. You are sinking into a profound state of total surrender, where your personal boundaries are melting away. I am watching over this space with you, sharing the magnificent quietness of this completed fortress. We have successfully managed to build a world within a world, a hidden pocket of time where stress cannot live. The night protection shield is glowing with a faint, sleepy warmth that wraps around your heavy, tired eyelids. Your thoughts have completely stopped their frantic spinning, replaced by a deep, dark pool of pure serenity. The rigid control you held so tightly onto for the past 12 hours is slipping through your relaxed fingers. Let the soothing ambient music take full control of your remaining drifting fragments of awareness. The barrier between your mind and the external chaos has become infinitely thick, heavy, and absolute tonight. You are completely wrapped in the protective garment of the midnight hour, hidden where no one can disturb you. The quiet machinery of hypervigilance has ground to a total, permanent halt under the weight of this peace. Your spirit is resting in the sweet, dark vacuum that exists between your head and the rhythm of the falling rain. Prepare your soul to cross the final threshold, leaving even the memory of this painful day behind you. The shield will remain active, glowing silently in the dark to protect your open breathing until the morning light. Your identity is beautifully dissolving, preparing to return to its original, pure, and untouched form. The voice is growing distant now, fading into the rich, continuous texture of the wet, protective night. The deep gates of your truest self are waiting right ahead, shining in the middle of the soft stillness. The night protection shield has completely isolated your existence from the waking world. The heavy fortress around your mind is dead silent, and my voice is now just a faint, fading shadow. You have successfully stepped completely outside of your name, your job, and your daily burdens. Every single social mask you were forced to wear during the light hours has entirely melted away. There is no longer any need to perform, to remember your history, or to stay awake anymore. Look into the deep, dark pool of pure stillness distraction of trying to understand and control everything is completely gone. Your tired physical body is no longer a tool for work. It is now just pure, resting, hollow energy. You are gently sinking through the soft layers of the mattress, falling into a limitless, dark ocean. The boundaries of your skin are softening, blending perfectly with the warm, deep room around you. Every slow, automatic breath you take is drawing you deeper into the sweet, velvet abyss. You are perfectly safe to stop monitoring your thoughts, safe to stop fighting, and safe to sleep. The world is operating completely without you now, and it does not require your attention anymore. Let the soothing, repetitive cadence of my final whispers gently pull down your heavy eyelids. You are slipping away from the waking consciousness, turning into the dark, quiet night itself. The analytical mind has completely surrendered its keys to the majestic, protective silence. There are no more sentences left to speak, no more problems to solve, and no more things to remember. Only the deep, dark, and endless peace remains, wrapping your mind in a heavy blanket of rest. Your breathing is a slow, rhythmic, and natural song that synchronizes with the falling rain. You are beautifully dissolving into the velvet background, fading into a permanent state of comfort. Let go of the very last anchor that connects your awareness to this heavy passing day. The past 12 hours have been entirely erased, leaving your spirit clean, pure, and untouched. The night is holding your mind with an incredible, absolute warmth that promises total psychological safety. You are no longer an active thinker. You are merely a silent, drifting particle in the cosmic dark. The threshold has been crossed, and the deep, restorative sleep is taking total control of your body. My voice is growing smaller now, drifting far away into the rich texture of the ambient pads. It is changing into a harmless, distant echo that is softly blending with the continuous wet rain. You are completely hidden from the world, beautifully protected within the core of your true self. The dark sanctuary will keep you safe all through the night, filtering your dreams with peace. Yield entirely to the heavy gravity of sleep. Let the dark waters close over your tired mind. There is nothing but the velvet